training that I'm calling AYRx integrated and blended with the energy body activations as well as the suspended somatics therapy. So we're going to focus today on bringing in this concept that I call body of light. And so yesterday we worked on the pillar of light and creating that vertical alignment, or that long axes, kind of like bamboo, where it is strong and flexible all at the same time, and working with the rhythm wave as well as the undulations with the breath to work and lubricate the spine and open up the pillar, as well as get the spaciousness in the vertebrae and the movement of energy, the superhighway of energy that pulses through the nervous system and into all of the glands and organs through our spine. So we are really hyper-focused on opening and aligning the spine. We're going to continue doing that, but we're also going to work with this bubble of energy around us. So I just want to start just really simple feeling, right? Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Let's get present. Let's land. So feel your pillar, ground down, plug in, as well as let your crown rise towards the sky. And just feel that the center, the heart, is going to be the apex point like a seesaw. And we're going to work on opening and blossoming from the heart space today. This entire practice was designed as a heart opening practice. And so really that is the the magic sauce, is that we're working with the toroidal force field, the electromagnetics around the body, and getting the energy to flow again, balancing the yin and yang, the up and down, the masculine and feminine, the left and right, all of that, so that we can be functioning in harmony in our body, harmony in our systems and health, and then hopefully harmony in the world and our relations. So let's go ahead and just find our leg loops. So these are the hand holds, and these are the leg loops, and then this is the main swing. For those that are brand new, get used to the equipment. I'm just going to let you know I am recording this training, so it's going to be available archived for unlimited replay. So if you are interested in getting certified or going deeper into your own practice, you can take the entire training right now for $5.99, which I've never done before, for 20 hours. That's the price of a 6-hour training. So it's a huge, huge, big savings. It's like 75% off. And then for those that don't have a swing and they can't imagine living without one after trying this, I'm doing an extra super duper special this weekend where the swing and that full training is $300 off. So the already discounted price is now just $9.99 for both. So I'm just encouraging you, now's the time to get a swing and take the training if you've been looking for a really sweet deal. And I wanted to do this to make it accessible and available to everybody. These swings are super stretchy and wonderful and soft cotton lycra blend, and they are so yummy on the body. It's like the deluxe version, and that's not just my own biased opinion. Every single person who's ever tried this swing has said it's the most incredibly superior and comfortable and wonderful, soft and strong, industrial strength sewing, as well as like your favorite yummy sweatshirt to interface with. I get them locally made here in San Francisco, so I highly recommend, if now's the time, if you don't have a swing yet, or if you want another one, now's the time. You can get that package. And then also you get all 5, I had the bonus day on Thursday, you got all 5 of the workshops for just $99 with this very special offer for the next 5 days that I'm doing a workshop from 4 to 6 every day. That's all included for the $99. So I hope you guys can enjoy that and keep watching it and keep benefiting from it. And let's just continue. Thank you for giving me a moment to plug that. I was like, oh, I have to tell people about the special and the swing. So now what I'm doing is I'm just playing. So take a moment to let your feet go a little bit wider. See if you can keep your axes and then trace the shape around you. So this is your body of light. Kind of like the Da Vinci guy. We have energy flowing from the crown of the head to the feet. And so we work in multidimensional space. So we're not just going into linear movements, we're actually spinning and spiraling in many planes and changing planes at the same time. So the swing practice gives us an interface. What I love about the swing is it's a wonderful medium to experience and explore the body in a new way. It's very different than other forms of exercise. Obviously, it falls within the aerial yoga genre when I'm doing these trainings, but it really is such an incredible healing tool and vehicle for transformation. So I like to share more and teach more about the energy of the body and just give you a second to just play. Right, with the hand holds and the leg loops combined with the main swing, we have lots of variations, lots of diversity. And we're going to get into some dynamic movements today, opening up the spirals and spins a little bit more while we're warming up here. Find your breath, let yourself land. We're going to do a whole review of what we've been doing in the training today. So those that are taking the training get to hang out and experience all that again. It's always good to repeat, but then I always add in more. Okay, so this is your body of light from your fingertips all the way up above your head and then down past your feet. This is your bubble, and I make these gorgeous mandala mats that are all based in the sacred geometry to inspire the movement, to define the space. So this is your body of light, this is your bubble. Just like the earth, right? The pillar of light is the axes and the two poles that we have in our own body. Like we have our own apple shape around our body, and then it's called the toroidal force field, where the energy flows up and then fountains all around. And so we're going to mimic these movements in the swing, finding the center point. When I say activating the core, I do all these core activation meditation techniques and bring them in. I'm talking about the heart, the core being the heart, le cœur, like the French word. And then we also strengthen our core, our entire torso, so that we have a wonderful support system and scaffolding for our pillar to be strong and not have any kinks or to be collapsed anywhere. So from all of the sitting and driving and computer, I find that most people are like curled up, you know, they're curling and their head is coming forward. So I want you today, just for today, give it your full attention to lead with your heart, to let your head sink back a little and let your gaze be slightly up so your crown can lift. So that's going to be my cue that I'm going to say again and again in different poses. Just look up. So look up with your eyes so that you can lift the upper body and start to rearrange the ergonomics. And we do a lot of external spiraling here in the upper body, and then we're doing an internal spiral here. So most people are splayed out and they have the external spiral in their lower body, internal spiral here, and they're all curled over at their computer, and we're reversing it. We're reversing the flow by bringing openness through the chest, through our arms, through cactus, and then we're bringing the energy down and spiraling the energy down by rotating the toes in, heels out slightly, and we're going to work with the windshield wiper movement of both the arms and legs in the different poses to feel the difference and get the ball and socket of these two major joints, getting them moving in all directions again. So let's just stay here, standing, reach up and grab for the handholds. I'm just going to hold on with my fingers and just notice even here, I can come into a little bit of a bicep curl and I can just start to pulse. I can even walk my feet a little wider and do a few squats where I'm doing some strengthening for the arms and legs. And you'll notice if you're holding on with your fingers, you're not going to be able to stay for very long. The hands can easily get tired or sore. So after doing a few rounds of just some easy, this is the full body hang, easy, breezy strengthening and lengthening of the spine for both the arms and legs, we're going to go ahead and pull ourselves up and go into a wrist wrap. So the wrist wrap is a little different. So we put the fabric across the top of the wrist and grab and strongly pull down. And with a wrist wrap, then we can possibly stay a little longer. I want you to listen to your body. So at any point, if you feel done, then just pause. Just pause and come on out and give it a shake. So we're gonna just have some free flow. So warming up the body, keeping your pillar. Notice if you're looking down and see if you can look up. Find your new focal point, which is called a drishti in yoga. Find your drishti or focal point and just sway. Feel your body. We're going to take lots of time to feel. So we don't just want to go through the motions. We want to actually feel what's going on. What's going on in the spine? What's going on the left side and the right side? Which side is tighter? Which side has pain? Where has there been an injury that might impede the natural flow of energy that we can work out some of that scar tissue and that tightness? Just notice, everybody's body is different, and I've never met a single person who was perfectly symmetrical. We all have some imbalances, some twists, some torques, some injuries, and we can work it out using gravity. What an incredible, abundant force to tap into. I just love gravity so much. Gravity is my best friend, is what I say. So just play with it. Play with the hang. And when your hands get tired, and they will, and they should, calm down and shake it out. Frequent breaks. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure, but it's also incredible for those that have any sort of wrist pain to traction the wrists like that. And if for any reason, if your shoulders are feeling uncomfortable with the full body hang, you can go back to this first position and just do the movements like this. So 75% of your weight can stay in your legs. For those that feel good, come on back in. Let's do another round. We're going to incorporate some core activations and really strengthen our scaffolding and our support with the little intrinsic muscles around the spine. So go ahead and just practice using one leg at a time to lift. I am starting with my left, and I'm just pulling my knee up and rolling it around, and I can switch at any time. Play with rotating in and rotating out, utilizing the different muscle groups, having some fun with it. You can even cross over and hang like this. Make it up. Let it be fun. Let it be playful. Let it be silly. Whatever feels good today. Explore and experience your body in the swing. Explore the movement. Explore the edges, the twists, the turns, the nooks and crannies. And then come on up. We're going to do another round of core. But whenever our hands start talking to us, or any part of the body, we're going to be hanging from our upper back and also from our hips. And because this is so new and different for people who are just starting out with the practice, it is good to come out, switch it up. If one part is feeling tender, just go and utilize another part. So I'll go back and forth from like forward folds and back bends, and so that way I'm working both sides of the body evenly. So shake it out in between. Take as many breaks as you need. I highly encourage you to take care of yourself. It's the beauty of doing a virtual training, is that we can actually pause when you're doing the replays. You can come back and review. You don't have to worry about missing something if you need a bio break, whatever you need. So let's go ahead and do one more round of lifts. So I'm just in a chair position, doing my knee lifts, activating the core. Feel the length happening through the ribs, not just the shoulders and arms, but all the way down into the torso, letting the spine lengthen out of the hips. Get some space for the vertebrae, and then strengthen around that space. So if it feels right for you and you can lift both knees, go ahead and do 5 of those. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Use the breath. Just 5. And if that is too hard, you can always keep the feet on the ground and you can march in place. Do whatever feels right for today, but let's keep our pillar no matter what we're doing. Come down and shake it out again. Just take a moment to feel, just even with a little bit of core activation and space and hanging, the body is already changing. It's already shifting. I can feel the lifting and that levity coming back into the body, since we're always having this feeling of being compressed, you know, the pressure of gravity pushing down. We want to utilize the balancing energy of lift. So the opposite of gravity is the law of lift. And so the swing practice for me was designed to understand the physics of the body and the energy of how we can balance both the up and down, right? So when we want to energize, we pull the energy up. When we want to relax and calm, we pull the energy down. And we learn how to move our center of gravity and work with the different pivot points. So we'll continue to talk about that as the weekend rolls along. And I'm going to give you lots of information. So, you know, if you just want to dive into the practice, that's totally fine. I get it. And when you're ready, you can go back and re-listen to some of this and get some of the wisdom and education around how the body works and how the body functions. It's my passion to bring together the sacred geometrics and spiral energetics with the fluid dynamics, all the things I share and teach with the suspended somatics therapy into the swing practice, into the aerial yoga play and the AYRx Therapeutix. So let's go ahead and move on to opening and strengthening and stretching the upper body, working with opening the heart today. I'm going to step forward into a lunge. Let's go ahead and step the left foot forward, right foot back. And then if you want, you can do a push-up. So if it's okay for your shoulders, just dip. So I'm bending the front knee. I'm stretching the back leg, which feels really good. I'm keeping the hands directly stacked under my shoulders, by my shoulders, and pushing forward, squeezing in, because the arms will go wide if we don't have that alignment and that stacking. And just feel the strength coming into the upper body and chest. A lot of people don't do push-ups because they're too hard, right? And we can make these super hard and do bigger push-ups by dipping without the leg, but just try it. Try stepping forward into a lunge. And of course, you can just do little baby ones so that you're not straining if there's a shoulder injury or something going on and it just doesn't feel right for today. Just do little baby dips. And then if you like the extra strengthening, go ahead and press strongly and lift the leg, activate the core at the same time. Very good. Finding your breath. Right. Inhaling here. I like to have a strong exhale, like a breath of fire, to help me find the power and strength in some of these poses. Let's come on back. Step with the left one more time. Do the little baby ones, the little dips. I call them dips. And just let that be where you're at today, or try the bigger ones where you're really pressing and lifting. Notice when you lift the leg, it changes everything. Not only is it more engaging, but you can see we're getting that core activation through the entire torso, getting the legs and arms to work together. And press, come on back, really good. Just take a moment in between every single transition and pose. We're just gonna chill it and bring it down and come back into our pillar and body of light and have a bit of a reset. And it's fun to play. So we're gonna release the leg loops now. I'm just letting you know there's like 300 different sequences and poses, so you can look up that online. And I also have 2 different training manuals you can check out that I send as e-manuals if you want to utilize those and learn all the poses. We're going to keep the poses really simple for our practice this weekend, and we're just adding a lot of information, a lot of application, and understanding the usage as well as what is actually happening when we use the swing. I find that people are much more interested, enthusiastic, and engaged when they know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, not just exercise, but how to work with alignment. So I'm stepping into a wide straddle. I'm bringing my arms out into a T, and I'm just going to show you we can just do these simple rehab exercises where we're pressing, just pressing straight down, utilizing the resistance and the tension on the leg loops. Since they have a little bit of a bounce, this is so good for the underbelly of the body. So even though we're just playing and swaying from side to side, if you really push down and then trace the shape of the space around you, then you can feel the energy is very different. So you can make this as easy or as hard as you want. The same with like the push-up position. Let's just show you how we can do some squats. The same thing, if we don't want to use the handholds, we can do our squats and our arms at the same time here. And see if you can find the symmetry, find the alignment. Is one shoulder riding up? Is one hip kinked out to the side? See if you can really find the evenness in the body, leading with the heart, keeping it really simple, but we want to do our strengthening and our stretch together. We're strengthening not just the large muscles of the body, but when we're working in this way with the swing, we're activating the intrinsic muscles and the smaller muscles around the joint that give them strength and space. So when we strengthen while we lengthen, we get more space and mobility, more dynamic motion that is possible in the body while it's still stable. So this is one of the ways that I rehab the shoulders and I work the shoulders, which will need this strength and dynamic movement when we get into superfly and some of the flying poses when I teach the advanced acrobatics. So I just wanted to show you that last little bit. These are part of my 5-minute HIIT trainings that I do in the morning. You can see if you do that fast, the full body hang with the sit-ups, with the push-ups, and then the dips and the squats. 5 minutes and you'll feel super activated. Obviously, I like to go into an inversion then and get my body upside down. And then I do all of my strengthening upside down. So I do all of my sit-ups upside down, all of my push-ups and bicep curls and all of that. And it's amazing. So when you come back and do the intermediate training with me, I'll teach you all these exercises upside down as well. Okay, let's go ahead and start to utilize the main swing now. Standing in the center of the mat, keep your nice long line of energy in your pillar. Inhale, your arms rise overhead. Exhale, hug the swing, push it down with your forearms. This is coming into our, well, we're going to go into a supported back bend and then we're going to get into our sumo. So let's try our supported back bend first. So as we lean back, get used to the fabric, get used to the balance. It's pretty awesome how much give this is and how soft it is, but yet supportive. So I always like to start here. So my feet are still in the center of the mat. I'm going to support the head with my hands, interlacing them behind the back of the skull. Gently rock your hips from side to side and open up your heart. So since we're hyper-focused and intentional about opening the heart, we want to utilize that external rotation of the shoulders. Let the head sink back so the heart is blossoming towards the sky. Walk your feet a little bit wider, hip distance or even more. And then see if you can create a little bit of an arch and a twist and a bend at the edges. It feels so good. Opening up the ribs, the intercostals, stretching the QL and the love handles. You guys don't know what the QL is. It's the muscle along the spine that connects to the obliques in the side body. So I do this all day, every day, and there's no end to this incredible feeling in this stretch. Since we use the body all day long, we need to stretch it and also wring it out and cleanse it from the buildup of memory, the buildup of toxins. Every single body holds memory. We're mostly water, 70% water, and water holds memory. There's all these amazing studies that were done on the properties and principles of water holding memory. And so literally our issues are in our tissues, as Bruce Lipton likes to say, one of my favorite spiritual teachers and evolutionary practitioners of bioenergetics. So if our issues are stuck in our tissues, it makes sense why we have pain, why we have injury that doesn't heal, because every cell in your body regenerates. Every cell in your body replaces itself at least every 7 years, sometimes every day. Our digestive and stomach lining replaces itself every day. So there's different parts of the body and different rates that it heals, but every part of the body regenerates. And we're taught just the opposite. We're taught that with age, we degenerate and that things break down. And I get it. I get it that if we don't take care of the body, if we don't give it the building blocks and the ability to repair, then yeah, it could easily break down and not get better. But I'm very passionate and dedicated to the regenerative therapeutics and the way that we can use something as fun and simple as the swing to heal the body, as well as boost our system, boost our immune system, boost our metabolism, boost our hormones, and then also calm and cool the nervous system, get rid of, release all the stress and buildup of tension that's in the body. So many benefits. So this particular training is the first time that I am challenging myself to be a little bit more on the leading edge and do like an all-in-one, all-encompassing training of both the poses and practices, which I call aerial yoga play. The P is for play and poses and practices. And then the regenerative therapeutics with the AYRx, AYRx. And then weave in the suspended somatics therapy, the awareness, the feeling, the healing that can happen. And then the sacred geometrics is understanding the energy body and the toroidal force field, the electromagnetics, and the Merkaba is what we're focusing on today with the body of light. But we will revisit this again and again. And if you're not familiar with these terms, the double tetrahedron, that particular geometry, and the Merkaba, look it up. It's really interesting, and it's really fascinating that we can address how to activate the energy body or light body through these practices. Moving in multidimensional space and opening up the spins and spirals really, really helps. So let's just stay here for a moment in our sumo squat and find our breath. Release back into a back bend or give it a little hop whenever you need to adjust the swing. And I want to play with the spins and spirals again. Okay, so let's go ahead and focus on the lower body. We did the upper body quite a bit earlier today, so let's go ahead and find our right leg loop in our hand and just take a moment to get the foot inside the leg loop at the ankle. One way or another, get your foot up there. For those that are really new and need a little helping hand and are having trouble getting the leg loop on, hint number one, you can lower it and bring it down. Hint two is you can actually sit in the swing. And once you sit in the swing, you might have an easier time because you can lean back and you're totally safe, and you can try to get the leg loop on that way. There's some people that I work with, my clients, that come in with an injury where they aren't able to lift their leg or turn their knee out to the side, and I have them hop into the swing, get the leg loop on, and come back in. So these are like the different variations and helpful hints for those that are teaching or wanting to teach. So if you find that it's difficult for somebody to get the leg loop on, I can come around and I'll just put it on for people too. Especially, I mostly work one-on-one. But yeah, sitting in the swing is also super comfy and feels really safe and secure. So that's a nice way to help people feel confident and gain the strength and flexibility to get the leg loop on. One way or another, the right leg loop is at the ankle, and this is called a half Buddha. So let's go ahead and just sway. So the more that we just swing and swag, I call it swagger, the more that we open up and lubricate and soften, hydrate all the connective tissue. So one of the ways to release the extra husk and the surface charge on the body is just to play and sway. This is a major, major benefit of this practice that I don't see in a lot of other exercises, that we can actually have this much multidimensional movement and support. particularly with the leg loops and opening up these twists and spirals over and over again, just using the free energy of the harmonic motion. Feels so good. You feel that through the IT band into the hip, just simply rocking. Go ahead and come back to center, give it a little hop. Whenever you need a break, you can actually even come to stand here. I don't normally stand up with one leg loop on, but I'll make an exception for today so that we can play standing as well. So, especially because we're doing this 4 hours a day, some people are like, okay, I feel done with the swing behind my back, because it's really digging in and it's working all of that deep tension, all the stickiness that lives behind those big muscles of the back and the heart. So you can do this standing up, which feels really good too. And I like doing the standing poses. I have lots of standing sequences, but typically I'll just go ahead and do this sitting down. So even here, let's go ahead and bend the knee so we can practice. We're gonna stay standing so the upper back is happy. And you can push the knee down. This is gonna help with the rotation. You can also pulse a little bit. I don't want you to force or push so hard that your body contracts against the stretch. I want you to just be with the edges, be with that natural end point, and give it a little chance. Give it a little chance to loosen up in the hip flexor and joint, and just give it a little external rotation. Remember we were talking about external and internal rotation? So this is an external rotation. Then I'm gonna hold on first. I'm gonna hold on to the top of the leg loops, and then I'm gonna turn it over and do an internal rotation, where you'll notice this is where there's a lot more congestion and limitation for everybody. We don't get a lot of internal rotation through our lower body, and that is how we create the strength and alignment through our legs. I had mentioned earlier in the training, the whole reason why I created the swing practice and this program is because it dramatically helped me heal my lower back. And I had multiple knee surgeries at a very young age, and if I would have known about this alignment bit and how energy works, it would have saved me a lot of time, energy, and grief, because there was a lot of suffering for about 15 years before finding relief from injury and pain, and living in pain is no fun. So now, after doing this for 20 years, I am completely pain-free. It doesn't mean that I don't have little issues here and there, but to not be in pain and to feel healthier than I ever have been 20 years later is amazing. So I feel very fortunate and blessed, and that's why I like to share these practices with you, not only for yoga and exercise, but for our well-being, our optimal health and well-being, our physical well-being, but also our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. So you'll probably notice that one side might be tighter than the other, and I want you to just pay attention and be present in your body. So with something as intense as a quad stretch and opening up the hip flexors, can you keep the lift through the front of the spine and feel how that intensifies the stretch? Can you keep your gaze up? Can you keep your heart open and lifted, leading with the heart? Because that's the first thing that goes, right? Everybody collapses in, and keep the lift while you're grounding down. So that dynamic tension, come to stand, release the foot, give the knee a chance. One of the things that's helped me as well is kneeling is just out of the question now. I haven't been able to kneel in 10 years. And I did about 20 years of yoga, all different kinds of variations. I have 6 different certifications in yoga, but I just cannot kneel anymore, and my knees were killing me every time I was doing lunges and things like that and kneeling on them. So the swing also really helped take pressure off my joints. Now I can come into inversions and headstands without any pain or any pressure. So there's a lot of benefit to doing the suspension training and mix it up. You can even cross train. You don't have to give up yoga on the floor, which I call flat yoga, jokingly and kiddingly, but really our bodies aren't designed to work on a flat surface. We are designed to be spherical and to work with the spirals and spins Like you'll see the trees grow in a spiral and spin. The nautilus shell, there's all of this evidence that the entire universe is a fractal and a spiral. So it's just something to keep in mind that if when we approach the body with the same laws, the universal laws, and following natural principles, the body just works way better. So I'm giving you a lot more than just a physical practice today, so just take it in, whatever inspires you, whatever feels good, but come back to sit to do the second side. And inhale, bring karate, chop it up there, however you can get the foot up for now. Go ahead and get the left ankle inside the leg loop. And just take a moment to wag, right? Swag and wag the tail. Roll around, enjoy, have fun. We're holding our weight with our arms. So our forearm press is supporting the swing from riding up. So the more you press your arms in and engage, the more you can keep the swing kind of in a locked position below the tips of the shoulder blade. Nice deep breaths, have some fun with it, some free flow playtime. Always feel this side. How is the left compared to the right? What do you notice between the two sides? It is interesting to see, like I said, everybody has an asymmetry. Everybody has a dominant side. Everybody has habits, perpetual and ritual habits that keep the body from being in perfect alignment. So let's work with that and give a little extra to any parts that are tight or sticky and pulse through them, breathe into them. Let there be the spirals. Let there be the internal and external rotation. So one of the ways that I work with the spirals is I just turn my toes. So I keep my foot flexed and I point my toes in and out, and I can feel the spiral moving up and down my legs. And you can notice that the external spiral is much easier than the internal spiral. So then we can come to stand like we did before, leaning back, foot in the center of the mat, and just try it here. It's a little easier to get into the quad stretch from stand, but we can do the sitting. It's just nice to take some pressure off the back too. Since we've been here for a while, we're gonna listen to the body. See if you can add the internal and external rotation of the foot while you're swaying, and then go ahead and turn your toes out to get the external spiral with a bent knee. And the same thing here. See if you can hold on, find your balance, find your footing, and push the knee down and just flutter. See how this feels. See if it can go a little bit deeper, extending past that natural edge without forcing, but feeling the long line of energy stretching from the hip flexor down to the knee. So I'm even externally spiraling. I'm helping with my hand wrap the energy around from the inner thigh towards the quad. And that feels really good. I'm also tilting my hips a little to get a little deeper into the hip flexor, which stretches the piriformis and the iliac crest. So amazing. And then I'm going to keep my foot flexed, holding on with both hands to the top of the leg loops. I'm going to inhale, bring the knee in, and exhale, point the knee down towards the ground, internally spiraling. Pull the knee towards the center of the mat so that the knees are kissing, and then spread out from there. So I'm working along the 9-3 axes if the mat is a clock. 12 o'clock in front, 6 o'clock behind me, 9 and 3 is going to be the center of the mat. So I go from the apex point to the edge and spread out. Either straight leg or bent knee. Remember, keep your gaze up. Keep your chest lifted. Feel the relationship even here. When we get into some intense poses, we can really lose our alignment and pillar. But you can see the more you pull up as your body drops down, gravity doing a very good job, then it deepens the stretch. So we don't even have to go very far to feel this one. Most people will stay up here and just do little bicep curls and dips because it's so intense. But see if you can spread out, let your heel come a little closer towards your glute, and see if you can get a little bit more length and space through the psoas and the belly as you open up the front of the spine And at the same time, bring it all the way down into the leg. Pull the knee towards the center line and then spread out. See if that makes sense. Keep the internal spiral. Square your hips to the side wall instead of to the front. And that will help keep the alignment. When we do this on the ground, it's much easier to lose the shape of the pose and to lose our stacking because we don't have any reference. But the swing is helping us. The swing is helping us lift. And at the same time, it's helping us find and keep that alignment between the left and right and the up and down. Okay, go ahead and bicep curl lift, come to stand, point your toes towards the sky, gently straighten the leg and spin it out. So I wanted to show you the internal and external spirals with the legs. So now let's do the internal and external spirals for the chest. And I'm going to come out and just show you one at a time. And the way I like to do that is using a wrist wrap. We're going to come into a triangle pose and I'm going to grab and then bend. I'm going to tilt at the hip crease. And then when I come into my version of triangle pose, I think you can see my top hand. I can roll my thumb down, and this would be internal, and then I can roll my thumb up and back, and that would be externally spiraling at the shoulder. Your hand can be just floating down, it can be supporting the head, but get a stretch through the neck. So imagine that this external spiral is not only going through the shoulder, but you can feel it all the way through the crown. So that means your chin lifts slightly and then you let your ear drop. Very different to get the whole external spiral through the arm, through the chest, through the neck, through the head. That's how I work with the spiral energetics. It's a little bit different than just doing one plain twist, like a twist like a hula hoop. We're more like a slinky that gets stretched out and then twisted. All right, come on up. Let's try that on the other side. Most people, when you're looking down, you're closing the energy. And when we look up and we're doing the external spiral, we're opening the energy. So we're allowing that torus, that apple-like design, that is the energetics, the electromagnetics around the body, to open and flow like a fountain, letting it fountain out and down the back, releasing all the buildup of tension in the neck and shoulders. So I'm going for a wrist wrap. Legs are still in a wide straddle. I'm going to turn my thumb down to feel internal rotation and then turn my thumb up and back and feel how that changes the whole alignment. And then let that spiral, that external rotation, that loop, go all the way up to the neck, lift the chin slightly, and then drop ear to shoulder. And if it feels good, gently nod back and forth, as well as twist down and look towards the ground and then look up again. Move the neck around very gently. You can support your head with your hand if you feel any sensitivity there. And just enjoy the stretch. Remember, the external rotation is thumb up. So you'll hear me say in different poses, thumb up. And that thumb up is an external rotation that's balancing all of the activity of the day where we are closing and rounding in. We want to open it back up and balance it out. Couple more deep breaths here. See if you can do whatever variation is feeling good on the body today. And go ahead and inhale, bicep curl, pull yourself back up and give it a little shake. See how that feels. So now I would love to get you guys into some forward folds. I would like to mix it up and change the swing position. There's a couple different ways we can do forward folds. Right now, today, just so we can kind of go over a little bit of everything in the training, let's use the main swing. Sometimes we'll go back and we'll revisit this with the leg loops on, but let's just go ahead and play with the main swing. So when I'm here, I'm going to stand in the center of the mat and I'm going to push the swing down strongly. Everybody's body fits. So when your arms straighten and you're up on your tippy toes, the swing will hit your legs. So it's going to be intense on your hip flexors, just FYI. You can bring the swing down one, you can make it lower. That will help, but it is going to be intense. Like it's the same as it's intense to hang by our underarms. This is the other very tender and sensitive spot of the body. The hip flexors is like where the lymph bundle, the same with the underarms. It's also like the nerve bundles that control the neuromuscular points that need to be reset. So again, I focus on the two major hubs of the body: lower back and hips, neck and shoulders. So neck and shoulders, when we're focusing on the upper body, we do the external spiral. For the lower back and hips, we're going to focus on the internal spiral, and just get a little bit of that understanding and how these two opposite directions is what allows for the full spin of our torus and our body of light. And since literally our bodies have been trained just the opposite, most people stand like with duck feet with their toes turned out. This is an external spiral. It pinches the sacrum. It cuts off the energy flow down the legs. So we need to turn our toes in, not so much that we're walking pigeon toe, but enough that we can feel this spiral. And then the same, like most people are rounded in, and then their thumbs are pointing down, right, with typing and playing on all the instruments, all the computers. So when we come into a cactus position with our arms out like this and our thumbs up, then we get that external spiral. So we're going to practice those techniques today, paying attention to not only our body of light, but our bubble, the sphere around our head, the sphere around our heart, and the sphere around our belly. And bring these three spheres together, with the heart leading the way and the head directly in line with the tailbone and hips. So let's try that again, pressing down strongly. Go ahead and push the hips forward, come down through a forward fold. Know that this deep rolfing session and digging in is really good for you, even though it's intense. You don't have to stay for very long. We're going to go ahead and come into some cat-cows, cat's meows, I call it. We're going to do that with some leg lifts. And we can do these in any order. I usually like to bop around and just see, what does my body want? What does my body need right now? So I'm just simply very gently inhaling, arch and lifting my leg, warming up. Exhaling, bringing the foot back down. Inhale, arch and lift. Exhale, bring it down. I'm just alternating nice and slow. Starting out with the swing, getting into a sweet spot in a position that feels good. When I lift the leg, you can see the swing rolls up and down. It's below the hip bone, just FYI. That's more of a sweet spot than on the bladder. Okay, so then from here, I want you to just wag your tail, come into what I call happy dog. Your feet can be towards the back of the mat, and you're just rolling around. So stretch out. So in this position, the swing is supporting your weight, so there's not as much weight in the arms. So press back and stretch the long lines of energy down the spine. Notice that it's easy to round here and to lose that connection and that shape. So feel like you can pulse forward and arch and lift the heart, and then exhale, come back in and round. And at the same time as doing your cat-cows, go ahead and do your loop-de-loops and your S-curve, whatever shape, infinity loops, figure eights, whatever feels good. Just roll around and let the spine move. Think about this being the fluid dynamics and the hydration that can come into the body and the joints, as well as just playing and exploring and feeling in a new way. So let that feel good. Rolling around, rolling around. Just follow my voice if you cannot see me, or you can turn around and face the other direction so you can see me better. Okay, so let's come back to the cat's meow with the leg lift. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose and squeeze. Really activate the core and squeeze it out. Inhale, fill yourself up. Feel like you're breathing in new life force energy. And then exhale, bring it out. Squeeze. Very good. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. One more. Inhale, arch. Let that feel good. Really lift. And then exhale, really squeeze.
accentuate, exaggerate the edges. That foot comes down, back to happy dog, loop-de-loops, figure eights, cat-cow, S-shape. Feel the rhythm wave and the harmonics moving through the body, that harmonic motion of getting the entire spine to undulate, to move every single vertebrae into stack. See where it's sticky or stuck. Most people have one part, one quadrant, either the back of the heart and the neck or the lower back that gets tight. Maybe you're lucky and you have both. That's okay too. Let's do second side. Inhale, right leg up, arch. Exhale, pull it in, round and squeeze. Accentuate those edges. Inhale, really lift, fill up. Exhale, squeeze it out. Inhale and exhale. Exaggerate your breath. Squeeze, empty. Feel like you're wringing out a towel, wringing out your spine, wringing out the tension, wringing out every cell. Inhaling. Last one. Exhale, squeeze. And that foot comes down. Very good. Let's go ahead and step into a wide straddle here. I'm going to, if it feels okay, I'm going to heel toe front and back. So I'm going to roll up onto my toes and then I'm going to drop back into my heels. So heel toe. And do the same thing. Arch when you come up onto your toes and then exhale, push back round in. Let that feel good. Can you feel the head in communication with the tailbone? Keeping your pillar, finding the length of the spine, and letting the heart be your focal point for today. And then just bend the knees. See if you can soften in the hip flexors. If it's feeling so intense, you're like, oh my God, I have to come up, which is usually the case. I don't teach as many forward folds anymore, unless we're bringing the swing down low because people, their faces tell me they don't love it. So come on out whenever you need, and then try it again. One more moment to do a twist. So from here, from the wide straddle, we're going to place the left hand down and we're going to spin on axes. So we keep our pillar, and even though it's horizontal, it's the same movement where we access the shape and the rotation from the heart. Yeah, see if you can stack the shoulders, really spin. Bring out the ribs and exhale, bring it down. Let's do that a few times. Inhale, left arm up. The left spins so much easier for me. And then the right is feeling so sticky. But yeah, we all have one side. Feel that. Feel which side is more open for you. Really spin, lean into it. And if it feels a little tighter, see if you can find a pulse or roll around and play with that. Play with the edge. Don't force it, but see if you can get a little bit deeper. Come out of it. And then use your breath. Come back in. Exhale down. Last time, spinning open to the left. Inhaling and exhaling. Pulse a little bit. It's pretty amazing to see, like, oh, this side is so much more open. If it is, lean back into it a little bit more. You can even grab and really open up. Which side is tighter? Do the tight side. Either stay here or do the other side. One more time where you reach back and you grab and lean into it. Same external spiral. My thumb is up. And then I can drop my ear to shoulder and get a big stretch. Feels so good through the chest. Very good. Release and let go. We're going to come up for a few rounds of angel wings. We have about 20 more minutes of activity, and then we're going to drop into a delicious long shavasana. So when we come into angel wings, it's actually okay to let the swing right up to your ribs. If it goes over your head, it's a little far. So as long as it's below the chest, it'll still support you. I want you to just practice letting the swing dig into the organs where we're rolling in and rounding our back, helping the navel pull up and in. I love doing all of the
organ massage with the swing, which is very intense, of course. Inhale, arch, open thumbs up. Exhale, round in, round in. You can even bend your knees here and do a little ragdoll. If it's too intense on the organs, you can just put your hands on the knees and come down about halfway and be like, that's okay, especially if you just ate. Inhale, press the hips forward, come up, and exhale one more time. As far as you want to go, dig in. This is the last one. Dig in. Round and drape over. Drape over the swing. It's supposed to be intense, but you can make it accessible and gentle as well as strong. Okay, come on up. Whew, let's just take a moment to feel what just happened there. Especially, I don't normally show all the belly work that I do with the swing where we're actually digging into the organs. But obviously, if we're going to work on the spine, we want to release a lot of the buildup and the collapse that happens in our bellies and dig into the organs. I do a particular version of Taoist healing called Chi Ni Tsung, and it's internal organ massage. It's some of my favorite work, and I highly recommend it. If you can get a session with me, try it out or look for somebody local. Chi Ni Tsung. It's internal organ massage, and you can do it on yourself in the swing, but it's also good to get somebody to help you out, especially if there's some digestive issues. Chinese medicine and most Chinese doctors will do Chi Ni Tsung or some organ work, and it is super intense. So if you do that every day, you can really help your body digest and to release. So I highly recommend it. Don't forget about the belly, right? So I work with the spheres. So anything happening in the lower back is happening in the belly. Anything happening in the neck and shoulders is happening in the chest. And usually one is like collapsed and the other one is taking all the weight and pressure. That's why we're doing this lift today. The same thing here. If your belly is protruding forward, it's going to pull on your back, and we have to learn how to really engage the navel, pushing the navel in and the spine in to get that internal rotation, especially releasing the psoas, these muscles along the side. They're usually the culprits. All right, let's get back into the main swing. Inhale, lift up, find your pillar. Exhale, hug the swing, push it down nice and low. So we're going to go back into our sumo for just a moment and bring the feet forward into straight legs, feet together. Do the little windshield wiper with your toes. Feel those spirals, feel the spin back and forth. Before we move along, let's go ahead and add another twist. It is definitely spin and spiral twist day. Whenever we're working with the body of light, we want to get into the spins and twists. So support your head with your hands. Let it be a bit of a reset. Massage out your back. Yeah, spin your toes and let your whole body come with you. And then what we're going to do is roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. So we're spinning towards the left. Pick up the right knee and step it to the 9-3 axis. It's 3 for me, 9 for you. And then add another spin here. So what we're doing is we're looking back behind us, and then we're spinning towards our knee and bringing our knee closer to the back of the mat. And wringing out the spine, adding a little bit more twist, keeping the heart lifted, the head in line. See how that feels. Keep wringing it out. Pulse with the breath. Nice and slow. Not forced, not hard. Just a gentle rocking and opening is so incredible, so healing. Step that foot back forward. Go ahead and windshield wiper your feet again, keeping them flexed. Reset the swing if you need to change the position on your back anytime. Do a little hop, roll onto the outer edge of the right, and pick up the left knee, step. So this is the reclined twist. And the reclined twist, I like to work with my gaze, looking over the knee, and then pulling the knee towards the back of the mat, and then twisting the other direction and looking over my shoulder. Yeah, just go back and forth a few times and pulse See what that feels like. It should feel really, really good. If for any reason you're having difficulty or pain in this position, just pause and come back to our supported back bend. Well, let's just stay here for another breath if you can. So this is how we start to work with the way the soft tissue grows. Everything grows in a spiral, as I've mentioned. So all of these twists and turns while we're strengthening and while we're stretching is so much better on opening up and healing the body than just stretching linearly in straight lines. So I want to continue working with the spheres and the wheels in the body as we move on to our chillaxin practice. Let me have a little sip of water. Feel free to take a little pause. 15 more minutes, guys. Stick with it. You're doing great. So nice and warm. In our chillaxin pose, we're going to get the leg loops on at the knees. So let's go ahead and get into our swing. Make sure it's not tangled up. We start at the lower ribs, come into a seated position and heel toe wide, 10 and 2 on the mat, dropping the hips, lifting the heart. Reach around and always hug the swing. We're going to get the leg loops on one at a time behind the knee. Lift, use your core, karate chop, the foot up there. Get creative, find a way to get the leg loops on if it feels far or if it's challenging because of an injury. Like I showed you, you can always spread the swing out and get in and put them on. But wherever you are, let's all meet up here. We're in chillaxin pose with our hips heavy, heart open, head supported and relaxed into our hands. This is the external rotation of the shoulders. And then we're just going to take a moment to play. Just sway from side to side. We can do all of the same external and internal rotation with the lower body like we did before. But let's go ahead and open the heart. I love getting into skydiver and butterfly as my heart opening poses. And so just kind of hang out for a minute, let yourself enjoy the swag. Again, crossing planes. I've been saying this several times, but I want to make sure that I repeat as a deepener of how important this is. Just swaying from side to side, that only opens up the connective tissue, but it's also rebalancing our brain. It's resetting our nervous system and calibrating the vagus nerve, which is in charge of our deep relaxation. It's a great way of relieving stress. It calms the nervous system, and it definitely balances the left and right sides so that we can have more strength and mobility in the muscles, because then the muscles can breathe, the muscles can receive more blood and oxygen and release the buildup of toxins and lactic acid. All from playing, all from swaying. It's so amazing. It feels so good on the body. And it does remind us of being a kid and being children on the playground. You know, the more that we just play our way into optimal health, the better we feel. We want to play. We want to be easy about it. So we can get strong, and we will do 100 bicep curls in every class. And at the same time, we want to be engaged but relaxed. Open, align, release. That's the tag that I use for aerial yoga play. Open, align, release. And then from there, we can receive the benefits of the practice and the healing. Great, come on back to center. I'm going to go ahead and do some undulations in the spine again, just that cat-cow movement, and using the breath to open up and roll, open and arch, as well as close. If you're feeling like you need a pause or a break, you can just stay here and hang out in a child's pose and just let your body rest and round. It's one of the few poses that I encourage you to round and just let everything kind of sink down. And then if you're ready, reach for the leg loops as high as you can. Your leg loops are attached to your knees. Bicep curl, pull yourself up, and then push the heart forward. Remember, gaze up. Notice if you were looking down. It's really common. Gaze up. And then exhale, you can squeeze and bow in like you're coming into child's pose. And we're going to do a few more inhalations and undulations together. Inhale, lift, arch. Exhale, round and squeeze. Inhaling, lift. Beautiful. Just over and over again, opening up the hips, opening up the heart, working both of the major hubs together, opening, and then exhale, rounding. Inhaling, bicep curl lift. Like I said, I was joking but serious. We do like 100 bicep curls in every class. And you don't even realize it because it's so fun. Bicep curl lift. Okay, let's stay here. So if you're tight, you're going to be all the way up here, which is fine. If that happens, you can actually come into high skydiver for this next round. If your hips don't want to come into like a full straddle split, no problem. Come into high skydiver and then just walk into a normal wide straddle. From here, I'm going to bring my hands in between the swing and leg loops by making a prayer position at my heart. Then I press forward and come through. So this is one of my favorite sequences. I call it skydiver, going into our angel wings and then flying butterfly. Okay, so you can keep your feet on the ground here, which is totally fine. You can also pull them back and float. But I want to flap my wings and feel, thumbs up, right, with the cactus position. I want to feel my shoulders working. I get that little bit of strength training and resistance training with the swing and just feeling my shoulders activating, especially the smaller muscles that are around the joint. It's so incredible. Just this little flapping movement, the bird flying movement. And then if it feels good to you, you can also pick up the feet and bring the feet together. From here, bend the elbows and come into our butterfly position. Now notice that my hands are not down by my waist. This is a different pose. This is with the closing of the shoulder or the internal rotation. I like to keep my hands higher up. They're not going to be at the ears. They're going to be more like at the shoulders, which is fine. And it's going to create more of this lift through the chest. Again, don't let your head drop. See if you can keep the long spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And then you can slide in a little bit more, bank a little from side to side, flutter, and stay here for a few breaths. Feel your chest leading the way. Open up the hips. Now we're going to go back for those that want the more medium version. It's not exactly advanced, but it's more advanced than that. So at the knees, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. You can even try spreading it out, which is one of my favorite variations and alternatives if the legs are feeling tender. You can come forward and you can do your skydiver like this. So nice. It obviously is going to bunch up, but do your best to spread it out. And then from skydiver, you can bend the knees, bring the feet together, and then from our angel wings, thumbs up, bend, and just feel the pecs and the chest expanding here. And let your heart drop, keep your gaze lifted, and then see if you can slide in a little bit more without losing the alignment, and lift your feet a little bit more, and you'll notice that your hips will press down towards the ground. This is opening up everything, opening up the whole front of the spine, squeezing the tips of the shoulder blades together for us, and really stretching and getting some space and alignment through the upper chest as well as the lower body. If you're doing this in a way that is comfortable, then your lower back should be completely happy. Completely happy. Any back pain, go back to the high skydiver. To come out of it, you pull your feet back down towards the earth, sink your hips back, utilize your arms, engage your arms to press, and then let the swing catch you. Very good. Whatever leg position with the leg loops you like, either spread out or bunched up, come on back into swagger and reset. There's so many poses we can go into from there. We do a lot of work with the fascia in the swing. I love sliding up and down the legs from knee to groin and digging in to some of the neuromuscular points as well as releasing the connective tissue. It helps so much for back pain and knee pain to dig in. It's been a game changer to work the fascia in the swing. So yeah, you can try that at your own pace and time. Just let the leg loops slide up and down. You can also just stay and come from side to side, coming into a freeze frame, a lunge to the side if you want. Whatever you want to do. Take 1 full minute of exploration. So that could be coming into a lunge and just let the leg loops slide up and down, digging into the quad, the IT band, the hamstring. See what that feels like. If your legs are already feeling a little tender and sore from 4 hours of this, then skip this and just stay where we were, where we were just doing a little freeze frame from side to side. Okay. There's lots of different ways to use the swing, and it's nice to feel it. And then you can always go back and spend about 5 minutes doing just the fascia work. Obviously, we can do that for the lower part of the body too. It doesn't have as much pressure, but I love digging into the calves and going up and down the lower part of the legs if you want to try that, or if you feel like you're having some calf cramping or tension, see if you can use your own body weight and the fabric to kind of dig in and release the calves, release the connective tissue that runs up from the Achilles and get some length through there, especially my friends and clients that have been going skiing, all the skiing that's been happening for people. You got to get those calves happy so you can roll around. It's literally endless what you can do in terms of digging into the body or helping with an injury or some sort of tightness. And it's also just good to stretch the back body. So getting into the calves and hamstrings are just crucial for lower back health. And sometimes it's easy to forget that our calves are connected, and sometimes tight calves can be the culprit for neck pain, believe it or not. If I release the calves for people, their neck feels better. It's so amazing to see how it's all connected. Okay, so now we're going to come back in. We're going to have a little bit of a sweet exit for today, completion. I will show you guys how to come into an inversion, but if you're not used to doing inversions, I'm going to give you the option of staying in some neck stretches instead. So we're going to reach for our knees, slide up as high as we can, grab for the top of the leg loops, and bicep curl, pull yourself up. So we pull up strongly, we can come to sit, and then we're going to go ahead and get the leg loops all the way up to the top of the thigh. Now from here, I like to do what I call training wheels, and we did a little bit of this yesterday, but it's always good to repeat. I'm holding on to the top of the leg loops, and then I'm going to lift and lower. So I have a strong bicep curl happening, and at the same time, I'm just with straight legs lifting and lowering to activate my core. So see if you can keep your long axes, that pillar, as well as feel the body of light around you. Just get in tune with the heart being the center point of that Merkaba electromagnetic field, toroidal force field, by many names. But the heart is at the center. So we're always leading with the heart and keeping the head directly over the spine, communicating with the belly, with the tailbone. So this is a nice way to do core activations. It also teaches us how to start to work with the wheels and the spheres. And in time, we'll learn how to do our flips and tricks where we can pull the feet up over the head. I'll be doing some of that on Monday when I do just a little bit of tricks and inversions mixed in with the Suspended Somatics therapy and sacred geometrics. We have to learn the geometry and the physics of the body in order to do the flips and tricks without any effort, with ease. So it's basically keeping the body in an L shape and keeping the pillar. And when we keep the spine nice and long, then we can rotate on axes. We just practice basically leaning back and lifting our feet. And then as our feet come down, our hips come up. And so once we get that movement down, we'll go over this more on Monday, so I hope you can join us so you can learn some flips. Then we can just use the same ergonomics to roll all the way back into a pike. So I like using the leg loops as like an extra, that's why I call it training wheels, as like an extra support, so we're not going to fall over. If all goes well, don't flip all the way around, or if you did, come on back out. And then for those that want to just relax now, and we're just going to start to wind it down and cool down, we're going to utilize the swing around our neck. And you always hold on to the fabric. You can bend the knees and hang completely, or you can stay standing. But just take a moment to do some restorative, very gentle therapeutic movement, tractioning the neck and working the connective tissue and fascia. This looks like nodding, and basically you're going to arch and lift your chin, and then exhale, tuck and drop, and let the swing slide up and down all the way to the occiput. And then if it feels good, you can also bend from side to side and let the swing dig into the scalenes and the neck. So I like to really dig in, and so I can push and pull with my opposite hand, and I can allow for there to be a little bit of a turn and like a rug burn, a tractioning across the skin. And when I do this, especially if I'm having some sort of neck pain or even headache, I can dig into the jaw and get into the tightness in the jaw. It's incredible. It really, really helps since the neck gets so stiff and tight. So this is one of the easiest ways to work out the neck tension, and it's also very gentle. You can stay standing if that's too much pressure and just have it be about 10 or 20% of your weight. You can keep most of your weight in your feet, or you can do all the way hanging, dropping your hips and getting more weight on the neck. So just play with that. And if you love restorative, that's for you. For those that want to end with an inversion, because I usually end my day with an inversion, just like Cocoon, the benefits of inversions every day it's just life-changing. I have a whole article, a blog that I've written about the benefits of hanging upside down and the swing. And I, of course, will tell you a little bit while we're upside down. There's no lack of information here. So I push the swing down. I have it, I'm going to turn around so you can see me a little bit better. And I have it across the top of my hips, not at my waist where it could pinch my love handles. I have it down a little further. So let me turn around so you can see me a little bit better and get the instructions. For those that know how to do an inversion, go ahead and hop in. But with the leg loops on, we have extra support so that we're playing safe. We always want to make sure that we have our hooks and our holds when we're doing our flips so that we never miss a hook. Okay, so from here, I push the swing down, so all the way across my hips. So I'm going to find the top of the sacrum and place the swing there. I'm going to lean back and use that pivot point to bring my legs wide and around, and I let the toes touch. I don't hold on for dear life with my toes. Any part of the body that I can relax, I'm going to let it relax, and any part that needs to stay engaged, the only thing that's engaged is this hook. So the swing is actually tracing the shape of the psoas and wrapping around towards the inner trochanter, the inner thigh. And then my legs are hooked, and that hook is what I'm hanging from. So you can always come out and do it again if it doesn't feel like it's in a good position. Once you're here, you're kind of locked in. So if you need to come out, you just bring your legs wide and around, and then you can come up and try again. What I have found is that if you spread it out, it's just going to bunch up again. But you can get a little bit of spread. And then when you come upside down, you'll be like, oh, that's better. But there is a sweet spot, you know, find the spot that feels good. If it feels like it's pinchy,
try it again. You just kind of get used to working with the fabric. Okay, so then once we're here, for those that are working on the neck, just stay there. For those that are comfortable going upside down, I want you to just try a gentle tractioning. Imagine your pillar has now been reversed. So now we're changing polarity, which is really incredible for the body as well. Let the feet be relaxed instead of holding on. And then just gently rock your head from side to side, and you can do your neck stretches like this. I think I said from the beginning, I do all of my core activations. I do all of my sit-ups and pull-ups and push-ups upside down. And it's just so incredible to work the muscles in the opposite direction for cross-training. So I encourage you guys to try that. That will be included in the intermediate practice. Right now we're keeping it chill. We're just sticking to the basics to master the basics this weekend, and then get much more information about how to use the swing for specific application and to understand the healing powers of what's happening here. So when we reverse gravity, we're draining the excess tension out of the body. Imagine just opening up a little portal at the crown of the head and dumping all of the excess tension, all the excess thoughts, everything that you're ready to get rid of. It's like the dumpster, you know? We're getting rid of the waste, the buildup. Everybody is a living library. Everybody is like a storage house of information, and we want to shed and cleanse regularly. I do a cleanse program every spring and fall for my people, for my clients and friends. So please, please contact me if you're curious about doing a really incredible cleanse that's easy. Cleansing the body is the most important thing, like taking a shower or brushing your teeth. We're cleansing the energy body. And just imagine as we're reversing all of this incredible free energy from gravity, pulling the energy out and pulling it down in like a waterfall, just dumping out and flushing out the crown of the head. All of the tension and energy in the neck and shoulders that are tight from all the compression and all of the sitting and computer work, let that go. Let everything soften. Let your arms completely go. Let your thoughts drain out. Anything you're ready to get rid of, any story, any memories, throw it out, let it go. It's expired, recycle it. And then you can feel in this position that the energy managers, the chakras and centers along the pathway of the spine that overlay the endocrine system, they start to get activated and opened up in a new way. And we're tractioning the spine out of the pelvis and getting space, lots of space for the vertebrae. So yeah, after a few minutes, you're probably cooked. So you reach up, you grab for the swing, bring the legs wide. You're gonna hold on and bicep curl. But as you come down, lead with your hips, not with your head. So as you bicep curl, drop your hips and just notice the pivot point where all of a sudden it was easy to come up and down, so we're not efforting through our inversions. Do a counter stretch and stretch the back, maybe a child's pose. Take a breath here. Let this part of the body fluff up after being wrung out. It is so powerful to wring out the spine, and it really resets the lower back. These muscles here, the QL, are the culprits and responsible for a lot of the lower back pain. So we want to roll those muscles out as much as possible, utilizing the fabric of the swing, the traction up and down. And then we're digging in to the neuromuscular points on either side and the hips. And it's incredible. It's incredible for not only relieving back pain, but preventatively keeping the spine happy, keeping the back happy, so we don't have to have an injury, so we don't have to go through so much pain. We can actually live happily in our body. Pain-free. So let's hop in. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We're just about done. We're going to do a nice long Shavasana in the swing. And because I gave you so much juicy information, I'm just going to let you absorb it all.
So next time we'll do a guided meditation. I do Source Speaks transmissions, and I do quantum healing while you're in the swing. So I'll do that tomorrow, I promise. But today you get to just hop in. So get a big handful. Okay, you're gonna hop into the center of the swing. For those who haven't done cocoon yet, this is like the world-class favorite. Get a big handful so you can stretch it out. And if you need to, give it a little hop to get towards the center. You want to make sure that it is stretched out all the way to the knees so you don't accidentally slide out prematurely. And then you want to have enough material over your head so that you can rest back, and it's going to support your neck. So I usually like to get just balanced between the upper and the lower. And I like the swaying and rocking, but if that feels too much, you could just bring one foot down and start to slow your roll. And then we're all just going to try the different ways that we can utilize the swing. You can bring the legs up like a V shape. I call it a version of Viparita, or the V pose. And from here, I can allow the excess energy, whatever is left over stagnant in the legs, I can let that drain out. And from this position, I can give myself a big hug, wrapping my arms over my chest. I can drape my arms overhead with bent elbows. Find your favorite position. Your arms can even be just straight on your lap in front of you. If you'd like to try bent knees, some people like to curl up into a little ball, and you can have your feet together like butterfly wings, and you can wrap your arms over your chest. Same. See if you like getting into the cocoon completely. And sometimes rounding in feels good, like you're back in the womb. And sometimes people want to stretch out after gaining all this beautiful space. And so you can extend your legs and use the leg loops and let your legs be straight. But wherever you can completely let go and drop in, just stay here for 10-15 minutes. See if you can let everything go. Let go of the breath, let go of the day. Send a huge wave of gratitude and love over your body for showing up, for your willingness to practice, to play, to explore and experience the body in a new way. You made it. Now it's time to receive. Like rebooting your computer, the body is remembering what health and optimal function feels like. Your body's getting a chance to restore and reset. So important. Just like we do charging and plugging in our cell phones, or restarting and rebooting our computer when it gets stuck, we need to do this often with our minds, with our body, with our spirit, all connected. And let it feel good to rest, to be refreshed. Ten long, luxurious minutes of final relaxation, of quiet, peace.